What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Adam. Once again, it's hashtag homeless. Day 89. 89 days of this. Um, yeah. Summer's over here in Western New York. You get about 1 month of nice weather here, and that's the month of July normally. And I grew up not far from this area, up near Rochester, near the Lake Ontario shoreline, and that's how it was every year. We would get off of school for summer. The weather would just start getting warm in June, and even the month of June really isn't that nice. July will get nice and hot and sunny and really beautiful weather. And then by the time mid-August gets here, you're back to almost fall. And yay, Western New York. Another wonderful reason to be stuck here. Down in Pittsburgh, down in that area, these are the two places I've spent most of my life. You get about an extra month. Everything is about 10 degrees warmer down there. It's only a couple hours drive, 3-hour drive from here, I believe. And for whatever reason, the winters here are way worse than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can get snow, Pittsburgh can get dumped on in the winter, and it can get cold down there. But Erie, Buffalo is probably two of the most miserable places in all of America to spend winter. And I know there's some places out west that are pretty bad, and they get pretty cold and a lot of snow. Northwest United States, Wyoming in that area, Utah, that kind of stuff. They have pretty bad winters too. But yeah, oh man, I want to go to Texas so bad right now. Especially, as soon as I put on this sweater, long sleeve jersey thing, it just made me want to leave. Because winter's coming, and it'll be here soon. It could start snowing in September up in this place. So I just hope that the people in Texas get their paperwork done and tell me one way or another. Like I said more than once on these videos, maybe if you want to torture somebody, keep telling them maybe. Maybe is like the worst thing somebody could ever say to you, at least in my experience. I can deal with a no. A no is a no. You can just file it away in the cabinet, shut the door, and go on with your day. But when it's a maybe, it's like the gears start to slow down and grind to a halt. Especially, when everybody's telling you maybe. I just want to go. I just want to pack my bags and go to Texas at this point. And there's other, I'll get into all of it here on the video as we move forward. But I thought yesterday, I've been reading these daily devotionals, and like I say, I've shared them with you numerous times. Jesus Calling is one of them, and there's another one, the In Touch. And so yesterday, I was reading them both, but In Touch spoke to me more than anything else that I read in the last couple of days. And I'm just going to share with you what it said and why it spoke to me. But it says that the Lord has ways of shaking the world when he is at work. He literally caused the ground to quake when Jesus died on the cross. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 26 describes a time to come when the earth will undergo a similar display of his power and presence. I think we're pretty close to that. I'm like, just bring it. Just get these end times over with, because I'm just sick and tired. Pull the Band-Aid. I'd rather have the Band-Aid ripped off quickly than slowly at this point. But likewise, God often lets the foundations of our personal world be shaken, whether through financial difficulties, family crises, or difficult diagnoses. If we've built our life on human wisdom, pride, conditional love, or the like, things may look good for a while, but it will collapse when storms hit. I used to say all the time that, I had a really good life before all of this happened. I had a really beautiful, awesome home. My family, well, my children and my closest parts of my family. I had, a good relationship. I had friends. And I used to tell people all the time that it's all a house of cards. It's all a house of cards. I can't maintain this myself. And, there's no strong foundation for anything in my life. And as soon as one storm came, everything collapsed. And when I say everything collapsed, I'm living out in the world with nothing but what I can fit in a backpack at this point. I don't have a place to live. I don't have a home. I haven't seen my children in 2 years. I am just, one fuck up away from going back to prison. And, and I haven't, fallen down that hole yet, but can't find a job at Burger King. Can't do anything right now. I'm completely stuck at the whims of whatever the government decides to do with me next. And the storm hit and every single thing in my life, everything completely collapsed and is gone. And I have nothing. I literally have nothing right now except for what I can carry with me. And it goes on to say, adversity affects everyone. Yet we can have peace in knowing that God always has a greater purpose when He allows it into our life. Hard times can shake believers out of apathy and self-focus, reminding us not to trust in ourselves or the temporary structures of this world. There you go. The house of cards. I put too much trust into my house of cards and the whole thing collapsed. Because it's not that I didn't believe in God, but I wasn't following the path that He wanted me to follow. And when that storm came, I didn't have any solid foundation to weather the storm. Oh, here comes the guy with his dog. He shows up every day. But he sees me shooting a video every day. So, we got to talking a little bit yesterday with the camera off. So anyway, He allows hard times into our life because they can shake believers out of apathy and self-focus, reminding us not to trust ourselves or the temporary structures of this world. There is only one secure foundation, a genuine, deep relationship with Jesus Christ, which will carry us through anything. No matter what storms are raging all around us, we'll have a solid footing if we stand on His love. Through our trials, though our trials are challenging, we as believers are blessed with the security of a firm foundation. We also have the responsibility and honor of helping others to become strong in God's grace. Be a living message of hope to those around you today. And so, I don't know what His purpose is for letting me go through this much hell. Because it has been where are we at? As of yesterday, it's been 2 straight years. August 12th, 2022 was the day I was ripped out of my home and dragged off like a hog-tied pig to be tortured for 3 or 4 days in a padded room with no clothes and no toilet, no sink, no bed, no blanket, no pillow, nothing. And left there to rot for 4 days before a judge and a psychiatrist told them to get me the hell out of there. And then, everything I've been through since that day. And life has there's little beacons of light in the distance, but nothing really, things could change on a dime. One phone call, one email, everything could change. So, but right now, I go back and forth with these modes of being hopeful to being pessimistic, back to being hopeful, back to being pessimistic. This is normal. If any of you were going through what I'm going through right now, you would have a hard time feeling like sunshine and rainbows every day. I can guarantee you that. And it wouldn't be abnormal. If you're going through something like this, through a hard time, whatever the situation may be, you're going to feel it. And you're going to go through this whole range of, you're going to be angry sometimes, you're going to be hopeful and happy sometimes, you're going to be feeling miserable and hopeless at times. And so, I don't know, I think what happened with me right now is the people at everything in my life right now at least hinges on what these people in Texas in the probation department decide they're going to do. They are holding all the keys in their hands to say yes or no. It's like the emperor in the gladiator battles. He's holding his thumb out to the side. Is he going to go thumbs up or thumbs down? And I'm sitting here waiting, watching the emperor just hold his thumb like this. Am I going to get slaughtered, or am I going to get, am I going to go to Texas, or am I going to be stuck here in Jamestown? And so that's hard. They came to my friend's house a week and a few days ago, said that they were totally fine with his house and that was all approved, but they still had paperwork to do. And, government paperwork is not a fast process. I don't know I know that the last time this happened, I was told they came to the house that I was supposed to living in, they inspected the house, and 3 days later I was told that everything was officially approved and I signed the paperwork. And so I don't know why it's taking longer this time, but when I look at it from the perspective of, as of today, it's been 28 days since they filed the paperwork and got the process started for me to transfer, the official transfer process. And so it's been 28 days. Now, the last time that I went through this process, it took it was either 60 or 64 days from the day that I signed the paper to start the process to do the transfer to the day that they told me the transfer was officially approved. So maybe they're just doing things in a different order. Maybe the people here in New York did all their paperwork and then went over to inspect the place that I was going to live. Maybe in Texas they're doing it the opposite. They inspected the place first and then doing the paperwork next. So that's fine. I mean, I know that these things take time, and the expectation is 60 days. So it's only been 28 days. I just had a glimmer of hope last weekend because they showed up at my friend's house and approved of it. And so I thought to myself, maybe they're moving really fast with this, but it's the government. They don't care. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that something shakes loose soon, because even if I have to spend winter doing what I'm doing right now, living in this shelter and wandering around Jamestown all the time, it's going to be miserable as soon as it's frozen and as soon as there's 6 feet of snow on the ground. I do have some waterproof boots right now. I'm ready in terms of that. I'll have to buy a coat. I'll have to get some gloves. I didn't pack for winter when I packed my backpack to become homeless because there's only so much room in the bag. And so, I don't know. I think that's the update on the homeless front. I skipped breakfast so I could get right out of there. I just don't want to be around the drama, whatever drama is going to take place there. Dinner was good last night. It's been pretty good lately. I'll probably duck out of the library at 5:30 to go have dinner there. But lately I've been falling asleep. I fell asleep super early last night. I I laid down to watch a video, and I was just instantly knocked out. And then I woke up later, right around 8 o'clock, because that Donald Trump thing and Elon Musk last night was going on. And so I woke up around 8 o'clock, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll listen to that and see what that's all about. And that was kind of interesting because so many people were trying to get into that thing that the whole site came down and there was all kinds of problems, but somehow I got in, and so I was able to listen to it. And I mean, I don't know, I'm not really a big I mean, if you got two choices here come November. I'm not voting. I don't even think I can vote because I'm a convicted felon. I know that if I'm in Texas by the time November gets here, I can't vote. Legally, I cannot vote. Here in New York, it might be a little different if I'm stuck here in November, which I'm hoping to God I'm not. But yeah, I mean, you got two bad choices. One will completely and utterly destroy this country and you'll all be homeless like me. The other one, I don't know what's going to happen, because I don't know. When I hear Donald Trump talk, he never really speaks a coherent sentence. He just kind of rambles about random stuff, and he goes in this direction and that direction, and he never really completes a thought, and he never really directly answers a question. And if the Democrat choices weren't so utterly and completely incompetent and so horrible, he'd have a hard time. Now, he did a good job debating Hillary Clinton, who actually can speak coherently. And that's the Donald Trump that needs to come out more, is how he was a lot sharper witted back then and had his thoughts together back then more than he does now. And I'll just leave it at that. I think that's it for politics. That's it for the update on the homeless situation. You know, people keep telling me I should go live in a vehicle. And that once again, great advice. How does somebody get a vehicle when they can't get a job, even a job at Burger King? They're homeless, they have no money, and they're wandering the streets of a destitute wasteland, with maybe $50 to $100 to their name. Yeah, just go out and buy a vehicle and live in the vehicle. Just keep giving me that wonderful advice. But speaking of vehicles that you could live in, this goes right into my next thing that I saw yesterday. There's a viral video going around on Twitter, X, and probably elsewhere. This guy, he bought his wife a Jeep Wagoneer, a brand new Jeep Wagoneer, big giant, SUV. And when he gives her the keys, it's like her birthday gift or something like that. She just goes and she throws this big giant fit. And she gets all pissed off and starts stomping around and throwing a big fit that he didn't buy her a Cadillac. And I mean, the guy in the video, he's a total cuckold while she's walking around the vehicle and throwing this big fit. Like, he was completely emasculated and just sits there putting up with her. But she's walking around this vehicle, throwing a fit, complaining to him that she wants him to take it back. And she's just really mad that he didn't get her the Cadillac that she wanted. And the caption above the video is, "Don't marry someone who belittles the little things you do and always criticizes you for not doing enough." I mean, the dude bought this bitch an expensive vehicle, and all she could do was complain about it and tell him he's a piece of trash. And, most of the comment, and the worst part about it is, I would say most of the comments below the video were people chiming in to say how the man was a complete asshole for not buying her the Cadillac that she wanted, and that the woman had every right to be angry with him and throwing a fit. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is our society right now. Every time I bring up the subject on this channel, that women are trash and they're not worth the price of an engagement ring. I get blasted in the comments about it all the time. And then all of a sudden I turn around and I see 10 more examples like this woman who threw a fit because her husband didn't buy her a Cadillac. And so I mean, what's this woman going to do now? Is she going to turn around and go ask her boyfriend to get her a Cadillac since her husband is such a piece of shit and didn't get her the one that she wanted? Like, there's no context to the situation. Like, maybe the dude couldn't afford the Cadillac, so he got her the next best thing. A lot of people in the comments were like, well, he got her the vehicle that he wanted to have. And, all these different things. It's like, all I'm saying is if I bought my girlfriend or my wife a freaking Jeep Wagoneer, a brand new Jeep Wagoneer, and she threw a fit like that, I'd be like, bitch, give me the keys and get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. That wouldn't have even lasted 2 minutes. And I would have a brand new Jeep Wagoneer to drive around in. Like a boss. I'm not putting up with that fucking shit. Fuck that. That's like you buy an engagement ring for a woman that she's the love of your life. You buy her an engagement ring and she looks at it and she's like, well, this rock's not big enough. What the hell were you thinking? You were supposed to spend more than that. And like, just give me the fucking ring back, bitch, and get the fuck out of here. That's what you're supposed to do when a woman acts like that. But no, this guy just sat there like, so I'm sorry, honey. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I love you. I'll try to do better next time. And fuck, dude. You may as well just bend over while she puts on a strap-on in the bedroom, because that's what you just turned yourself into. But anyway, I don't know, man. When I have a real workspace someday and a stable roof over my head, I'll take some more time to grab these clips and put them in the videos so that you can see for yourself when I'm talking about them. But I gave you enough information right here to go find it yourself. It's on YouTube probably. And if I find it myself, I'll put a link in the description below. But I really don't have time to do editing like that right now. The last time I did an edited video was the walking tour of Jamestown, and it took me most of a Saturday to get that. And that wasn't even complicated, fancy editing, but it still took all day to get that video out the door. And I got other things I got to get done today. So, once again, it's a podcast with a face, so be lucky there's video at all. Or be thankful there's video at all. And so, I don't know, back to the homeless front. I did have something else happen yesterday. I got me an Obama phone. I got my Obama phone. Remember those? Well, they're still a thing. The Obama phone, you can still get one. I got one. Switching away from being ungrateful for not getting the Cadillac I always wanted, I will talk about my Obama phone. So they've been setting up these tents all over town for the last month or two. And they're handing out these free phones like candy because everybody in Jamestown is on welfare. Everybody in Jamestown who doesn't live at the Chautauqua Institution and is, just some ultra mega richest people in the world assholes who come to terrorize the people of Jamestown for 3 months out of the year. Everybody else in the city of Jamestown is living on welfare right now. And most of those are homeless. And so they've been going around setting up these tents all over town, and they're just handing out free phones like candy, like Halloween candy here in Jamestown. And I really wasn't paying much attention to it because I have a phone. But a few people came into the homeless shelter with the phones, and they were showing them to me. And I'm like, well, they're not too bad. And I still don't really know how any of this works. But I saw more than a few people with them, and every time I see this pop-up tent, there's a big line of people waiting to get one of these phones. So I pretty much ignored it. Well, yesterday, there was a tent popped up in the 7-Eleven parking lot, and I was there. I thought about checking it out, but everything was moving really slow, and the people kept jockeying for position in line, so I decided to walk away, check it out later. So I came back, and I grabbed a sandwich and orange juice on my EBT, and then I came back. And, I've been grabbing a chicken salad, croissant, and a small orange juice for lunch sometimes when I'm hungry. And I don't want to eat like a pig. And, on your dime, of course, with my EBT card. But when I came back out, there was nobody in line. So I walked over to the booth. Well, just before I was about to sign up, some woman jumped right in front of me and threw her ID down on the table and cut me off. And so I was about to just turn around and walk away, because that's what they do when you go to social services too. When I'm waiting for this job stuff on Friday, I'll be the first one there and I'll be standing in line. And then most of the time it's a woman. A white trash woman will come in, and it's more than one, and they'll just jump in line right in front of me, as if I'm going to allow that to happen. Once again, because you're a woman, you get to just cut everybody off and move to the front of the line when you were 15 minutes late getting here. No, fuck you, bitch. Get out of my way. And I'll just walk right in front of her and be like, no, you're back there. I'm not putting up with this shit. But anyway, there was nobody in line when I went back to the booth except for that chick that cut me off. And I wasn't even going to get into a white trash WWE match. So I was just going to go away. But then this other guy says, hey, I'll take care of you. And he decides to process my application for the Obama phone. So I decided to wait. And so I guess the way it all works is if you're collecting food stamps and the government dole, they basically sign you up and hand you a phone. And most people, myself included, and I knew this going into it, I knew this before I even signed up because of what the people at the homeless shelter told me. You basically pay them $20 for the phone, and the service is free. And so I have no idea. I still don't really know any of the details of this, but I gave them a $20 bill to get the phone. And they activated it right there. I made a couple of phone calls. I went online right in the parking lot, so I know it works. It has a local phone number. So as far as I'm concerned, if the whole thing turned out to be a scam, I spent $20 in cash. I didn't give any of my personal information out other than the last 4 digits of my social security number. No credit card. I didn't give them anything that they could use to steal from me. And now I have a second phone that I can use in case something goes wrong. Or my regular phone that's on my friend's family plan goes wrong. The phone that I'm using to shoot these videos with. And then technically I should be able to sign up for a PayPal account again because I have a phone that's now in my name. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to join PayPal again ever unless there's some absolute need that I absolutely have to do it for some reason. But as it is right now, I should be able to do it because this phone is in my name. I even wanted to see if this thing was a scam or not after the fact, because the whole process is kind of dirty and scammy. I'm not going to lie. But the phone is working, and it's working right now. And, but when I got back to the library, I used it some more. I made some calls. I made sure it works. I wanted to be sure the thing wasn't a scam. And when I looked it up online, there were all these news videos about these pop-up phone booths being a scam. And I'm like, oh, boy. But then I start watching the videos, and the reason why the news media are calling it a scam is that the news reporters are all angry that people are getting these free phones on the taxpayer's dime, and that's why they're calling it a scam. So with that basically told me that the thing is legit because all these rich people are mad that they paid for me to have a free Obama phone. And so I have no idea how long it lasts. I don't know anything about it. The worst case scenario is I paid $20 for an Android phone that I can use as a Wi-Fi device or a camera or whatever if the service is deactivated. I have an extra USB-C charger and a cable and whatever else came in the box with it. and because I just shoved the whole thing into my laptop bag and walked off with it after the whole process was done. So the only reason I grabbed the thing was A, it was there, and it was more or less free, $20. B, because as a preparedness guy, I know the saying, one is none and two is one, and that's a real thing. So it's never a bad thing to have an extra phone in case something goes wrong with the phone I'm using every day. And hopefully I won't need it. But it is a legitimate Android phone. I might be able to run a few apps on it. It is a junky phone. It's not a nice phone, and it runs on T-Mobile, but T-Mobile's throttling the hell out of the internet connection on this thing. It's less than 1 megabit per second when I try to get online with it. The speed is ridiculously slow, but it might have something to do with the fact that it's not a 5G phone, and so it's relying on 4G service, and I know that their 4G coverage in this area is pretty bad. So I'm going to take this phone and do some speed tests from different locations and just see if there's any possibility that it can have a decent speed internet connection. Maybe it could be an extra hotspot for me. If, you know, there's other things. This might come in handy at some point. But it's a legitimate Android phone. I might be able to run some apps on it that I can't run on the phone that I'm using to record this video, because this phone's running a operating system called Graphene OS. And there are certain apps that don't run on this phone. No matter what you do, the apps won't run. But like I said, the phone is kind of junky. This is what you'd expect for a free phone. The brand is called Vortex. And I guess this brand of phone is the only phones that they produce are specifically for the Obama phone program. And it, like I said, it runs on the T-Mobile network. It's the same network that this phone's running on, which it would have been nicer if it was running on AT&T or a different carrier, because then you would have a second option for a phone if you're in a bad coverage area for one carrier, but the other carrier has good coverage in that area. But whatever. The thing was more or less free, other than the $20 bill. And if I use it for a month for a few things here and there, maybe I can use it in conjunction to do these videos. I mean, I don't know. I'll figure something out. The charger and the USB cable were worth something alone. My current charger that I use for my phone has a USB-C outlet on it. And it needs a USB-C to C cord. And so I only had USB-A to C cords, and I'm using an adapter, a USB-C to A adapter, to be able to use my phone charger. And so it's kind of a weird setup. And I was going to get another adapter so that I could plug both of my hard drives in at the same time when I'm using my laptop at the library, because right now I can only have one or the other plugged in and have my phone charging at the same time. If I want to have both hard drives plugged in at the same time, then I can't charge my cell phone. So out of the box with this Vortex phone, I got a charging adapter and a cable that actually works in conjunction together so that I can charge my phone and plug both of my hard drives into my laptop while I'm sitting at the library. And I can use both hard drives plugged in simultaneously. So that was kind of cool. I would have had to buy a $10 adapter to be able to do that prior to getting this phone. So if you look at it that way, I paid $10 for a phone. And so, I don't know. I don't think it was a bad idea. Even I can put the Google Track My Phone app on my devices now, and I can take this Obama phone and shove it into a deep pocket in my computer bag. So if for some reason my computer bag gets stolen, someone runs off with it because I set it down and turned away or whatever, as long as that phone's battery is still charged and broadcasting GPS coordinates, etc., I'd be able to find my phone. I would be able to find the laptop bag, the location of it, from my other phone. So I mean, there's just, as a prepper, you think, what are all the different random things that this could come in handy for? And since it's not costing me anything from 1 month to the next, why not? Who's gonna turn down free money, right? So, thank you guys once again for all of your tax dollars that are hard at work, putting food in my belly and putting a free Obama phone in my laptop bag. You guys came through once again. I know you're mad. I know you're going to throw some fits in the comments. Knock yourself out. But take a look at how much money you're paying for me to be homeless compared to the money that you sent to Ukraine last week. And I think that there's a discrepancy here. I think there's other things that you have to be mad about. So, let's see. I said yesterday that I was going to reach out to the HR rep at the company that I'm waiting to hear back from. And I did that yesterday because I want closure on this thing. As of yesterday, it was 10 weeks since the first time I started talking to this HR rep about this software job. And she got back to me within an hour or two yesterday letting me know I'm still in the running for the job. 10 weeks. 10 weeks and 3 job interviews and checking all my personal references, and several emails later, they're not telling me no. They're not telling me yes. Once again, it's that maybe. And the maybe is the worst. Maybe is the worst thing in the world sometimes. And so, maybe you can go to Texas. Maybe you can go to Pittsburgh. Maybe you can stay in Jamestown. Maybe you can get this job. Maybe we'll say no. Man, it's driving me nuts. The maybe is just too much. But I would rather this HR rep just tell me no than to keep. But she said, well, she got back to me within an hour or two. And at this point, it's just hysterical. And to be honest, it's not the first time that I've had a company drag their feet for several months before actually offering me a job. So, for whatever reason, these things happen from time to time. And the salary of this job would instantly fix all my immediate problems within a single paycheck. And I honestly believe if they had rejected me or hired somebody else, that they would have let me know so that I don't keep following up with them. She actually thanked me for following up, and I can sense a frustration in some of the emails back and forth over the last few weeks, over the last month or so that I've been trying to get an answer from her. It seems like there's a bit of a frustration on her side because she wants to get these jobs filled. That's her job. And so I have a feeling that maybe the president of this company, he might be a bit of a micromanager. It's a company of about 450 people. And there's just certain things that were said or things that I sniffed out during the job interviews that I've had, including one with him, that make me think that nothing happens, that the smallest decisions that get made in that company don't get made without his express approval. And in a company that big, 400 people, with all kinds of different things going on, if somebody's got to be the decision maker for every single decision that's being made in the company at a micro level, then that's going to slow the entire thing down. And so that's one reason why this process could take so long. But other than that, they were a really friendly group of people to talk to. I think it would be a good fit for my work style and personality just from talking to everybody. It's the one job. It's out of all the jobs I've interviewed with, out of all the jobs I've gone after in terms of working at a full-time job for a company, this is the one that I'm actually interested in working for. And, I would take a job somewhere else, but I would really like to get this job. I think it would be a good fit. The work that I'd be doing, everything from the work that I'd be doing to the way I'm doing it to the to the people I'd be working with and more, I think that it would be a good fit. There are more opportunities on the table still that I haven't heard from that would pay more than that job. But money's not always the most important thing. So your sanity is worth a lot more in the long run than the extra money. But it's been 10 weeks since the first contact was made. And if it were just me, I would have already just said, you know what, I think I'm done reaching out to this person. Maybe I'll reach out to them once a month, put them on the once a month rotation. I don't know. But that's a long time to be strung along for a job like that. But it wouldn't be the first time. There was one time I can specifically think about that took 3 months from the day I went on interviews to the day that I was hired. November, December. Yeah, 3 months almost to the day. So it's been 10 weeks. Maybe over the next couple of weeks, something will happen there. Who knows? But wow, there's some fog coming in. That's different. So anyway, there's that's all I really had to talk about today. There's a little bit of gratitude to talk about. I'll throw that in as much as I can in these videos, just so that's my way of saying, it's not all bad. There's things could be so much worse, man. I see people walking around this town crippled. I see people zooming around in wheelchairs. Like, I can go on a 10-mile walk today. My feet are pretty good. Got some residual. The corns are coming off my feet, finally. And as they peel off, the toes are they're starting to feel normal again. And these boots are actually pretty comfy. The boots that everybody told me I made a mistake on getting, I'm digging them. I mean, overall, for a pair of Walmart $80 boots, I would go on a hike with these, no problem. They're a bit heavy, but I wouldn't want to go on like an Appalachian Trail multi-month long hike, but I could certainly put some miles on these things. So I'm grateful for these boots, for sure. They're comfy. As soon as my feet finish healing up, they're going to be comfy, and they're getting broken in, and they're not bad. I'm digging them. I'm thankful for my Obama phone. I got my Obama phone. And as a prepper, they say 1 is none and 2 is 1. And so now I have 1 phone because I got 2. My Obama phone and my best friend homie phone. Thankful that I got a regular phone, though, because the Obama phone really is kind of it's kind of junky. It'll make calls, it'll send texts, it'll do the basic things. I can get email, I can do the basics, but it's not a nice phone. But I've got a regular phone. I've got gear that allows me to keep doing these videos and keep doing what I'm doing and looking for a job and all that kind of stuff. I'm thankful for you guys who made it this far, the YouTube channel, making a lot of friends on here. And some possibilities are opening up because of this YouTube channel. And that's a lot of fun to be experiencing that. And it's one of those things that I was talking about yesterday. God seems to put up roadblocks and brick walls in my path when I'm going a direction that he doesn't want me to go. And when I go a direction that he wants me to go, he makes things happen. 1,000 people subscribed to this channel in something like 60 days, I think it was. And something like that. I'd have to look up the exact amount of days, but most people say it takes them a year, 15 months. I think YouTube themselves say it takes 15 months for the average person to get 1,000 subscribers. And here it was, you guys made it happen in 2 months. And the subscriber rate has slowed way down since that 1,000 mark was hit, because the number of impressions that YouTube is shelling out, the number of people they're promoting the video to has dropped. And that has a direct relationship with how many people subscribe and how many people watch. But the one statistic that keeps rising ever since the first day is the number of hours spent watching the videos. That has been slowly increasing and increasing over time, and that has never taken a downward turn. So what that really says, when you look at all the analytics together, the people that come and stay and watch the stuff, they really dig it, and they want to watch all of it, and they're really engaged. And I would rather have 1,000 followers of people who I actually get along with, talk to, interact with back and forth, and get to know on a personal level in some way, shape, or form, than have 1 million followers that where 2/3 of them are spam bots and not even real people, and other people just like the hipstergram Instagram crowd, where they just kind of show up and they give you a thumbs up on a photo, or they just give you like 3 clappy hand emojis for a comment and move on. Like, they don't really talk to you at all. They don't get to know you. There's no interaction. There's no real interaction back and forth. And so the real people that show up on this channel, even the trolls, even the FBI agents that are showing up to try and provoke people into saying violent things, or just, dirt bags that have nothing better to do than to come, take a dump in the punch bowl. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch all of it. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I got nudged into doing it, because at first I didn't want to do it. I'm not going to lie. I did not want to do this YouTube stuff at all when this all happened. And to be honest, the YouTube channel has been one of the things that's been going smooth, almost like I was supposed to do it. I feel like God wanted me to do it now because of the way that things are happening. And sometimes I wonder, does God want me to not work in software? And, what does God want me to do? Because it doesn't seem like God wants me to find a job in Jamestown at all, because it's just one brick wall after the next whenever I try to do that. But then I try and, go these other directions, and he's kind of opening the doors for me. So I don't know. Thankful that I got my good health, like I said, and I can walk everywhere I need to go. I'm thankful that I'm still in the running for a couple of jobs. I don't know what's going to happen. These software jobs, the higher up the ladder you go, the longer it takes for them to make decisions. I've noticed that in my career. I'm thankful for the food. Like I said, the food at the shelter's been good lately. There's a reason for that I'm not going to get into. But we got some good food lately, and it's been good. I'm not hungry. I skipped breakfast this morning, and that's fine. I'm not hungry. It's not gonna make a difference. Let's see. I'm thankful that I'm not forced to sleep outside. Even though I want to sometimes, I'm a camper. I enjoy it. I would really enjoy, I already know where I'd go, and I would have a little campfire, and I would have my hammock and my bivy sack and my large tarp strung over everything. I'd probably even, if I was really setting up a camp, I would go hit up some Walmart with my EBT cash assistance card, and I'd pick up a few other things and make that camp a little more comfortable. But I haven't gone hungry. I haven't been forced to sleep outside. And, we've got the library. As crazy as the library can be, it is the best place for me to sit and do my work. I mean, somebody in the comments yesterday, I haven't responded to it yet, said, you can look for a library and you could probably go and sit there and get things done. And I'm like, well, you obviously haven't watched any of the videos. Because, so I don't know, maybe it's a new viewer who hasn't watched any of the new videos, and so I shouldn't be a smart ass about that. But if it's anybody who's been poking around, if it's one of the trolls that keeps showing up, I didn't take a really good look at the username to see if it's somebody I've talked to before, but I thought that was kind of an amusing comment. But I'm thankful that the library's there, and that The people that run it are pretty friendly. They're half of the people that run the library, I haven't seen their faces because they wear these dumb COVID masks every day. Like, I don't know. I don't think these people are ever going to take them off. I think for some people in this world, the COVID mask is like your underwear. You don't want to walk around without a pair of underwear on. So they don't want to walk around without a mask on their face. Like it's part of who they are now, and they're never going to take these stupid things off. I'm thankful that I found a good church. I did reach out to one of the people at church yesterday. Sent me a text message about a guy that she saw on Facebook who was looking for someone to help him with web stuff. I'll just leave it at that. And I reached out to the guy. I haven't heard back from him, but that's okay. And I even told the guy, I said, look, I might not be the best guy for you to hire to do exactly what you're looking for, if that's exactly and specifically what you're looking for, but I have a really good friend in Pittsburgh who does nothing but that for a living, and she's a master. And so I said, one way or another, I can help you out, and I can connect you with someone. Pittsburgh might be a little farther than you want to reach out to someone for, because he was looking for somebody local to Jamestown. But I said, look, I'm here in Jamestown at least for a while, and if I'm not a good match, I know someone who would be perfect. So one way or another, I might be able to help a friend who helped me by giving me a good reference for a job. I might be able to give her a client. So one way or another, I'm hoping that something works out there. And I'm thankful that I haven't had any real serious problems other than, being homeless and the things that are going on. I don't know. I'm just hoping things start to work out soon. I'm going to get off of here pretty soon because I want to go to I want to try and get to the DMV before the DMV opens. And even though it's going to cost me money I don't want to spend, I got to change my address on my driver's license, and hopefully I'll get some sort of document in my hand, because YouTube is going to demonetize me if I can't give them a mailing address. And this has become a major struggle being homeless, because even the homeless shelter people are weird about me using their location as my mailing address. But now I got one thing in the mail from my bank when I set up a new bank account. And so I'm going to use that to try and get my driver's license swapped to the new address. And then hopefully I'll have enough stuff in my hand that I can submit all this to YouTube, Google, and they'll let me get paid. But otherwise, I'll just be a homeless guy on YouTube who YouTube's running ads on, and I'm not getting money for the ads. And I'm up to like $75 in terms of YouTube ad revenue, which isn't terrible. They won't pay you out until you reach $100. And I don't think I'm going to hit the $100 threshold by the deadline this month, which is fine. But I need to get this whole documentation thing sorted out. And if I had a home, would have been a 10-minute process. But not having a home, that's going to turn into several weeks and probably going to be a big nightmare over what amounts to $100. And so that's annoying. That's annoying, but I'm going to try and get it done today. So I'm going to put together, I'm having some problems with the store that synchronizes to YouTube. I'm probably going to have to unhook and resynchronize the store to YouTube. And then it's probably still not going to work because it's the garbage software. When I see how bad software is, it just keeps making me wonder, do you really want to go work for software companies again and be churning out this fucking trash every day? Do you want to keep making your living by churning out garbage? And even though my job is to try and help the company not churn out garbage and actually deliver things that people want, I know that at the end of the day, they're just going to throw away whatever I come up with and the suggestions that I make and just churn out whatever piece of trash that they can get out the door quickly and get the money in their hands for. So once again, I'll never let Elon's self-driving car take me on a trip anywhere. I won't do it. Not putting my life in the hands of badly written code. So once again, once I get this stuff sorted out with the storefronts, there's so many different things going on, I really can't tell you when anything will happen. But I'm going to send out a deal for photography to the mailing list, free.litgood.com. And so sign up on the email list, and I'll let you know when that's going to happen. I am not going to add any more photos to the stores until I send out that deal. So it is the next thing on my list for the photography business. Shop.litgood.com. If you can't wait and you just want to get some beautiful art to hang on your wall, go there. And if you want to browse a larger collection of images, go to litgood.com, and you can check out a lot more images there. And if you see something you like, just get in touch with me, and I'll put that image on the store, and you can buy it right from the store. It would only take me an hour to do it, and you would just be helping me populate my storefront. So win-win. The other thing that I do have some other, there's photos on Instagram. There's photos on a site called 500px, which is a social media site for photographers. I haven't updated that in quite a while. You really don't get to do much on that platform unless you pay them to use it. And I was using that more as a portfolio for photography. And there's a few other places where you can find photographs of mine that aren't on litgood.com, because once the Litgood site is also a free web hosting kind of photographer web hosting service, and they've limited how many photos I can post. And so, and there's certain things about that platform that I don't like, and that's why I didn't bother paying them for it. Once I start building websites for my customers for the design business that I've started, I'm going to, in tandem, relaunch my photography website that I already have built. I just need to upload it, tweak some things, make a few changes that it would probably take me 2 to 3 weeks to get it all done. And probably even more time, because I'll be juggling it with other things, but more important things. But once that's up, I'll be pointing litgood.com to that site, and I'll be taking down the site where you're going right now to see my photos. So once again, litgood.com, and I'm the only social media site I'm going to promote right now is Twitter. Go check out Twitter. It's a meme buffet. It's a fun place to be right now. Yeah, they put me in Twitter jail for 12 hours because I said the wrong thing. And I think it was just a bot that was programmed to... They thought that something I said was violent, but it wasn't. It was... I said, I hope that a woman beats up the guy who got the gold medal in the Olympics. But I meant in the boxing ring. I hope that some woman goes up against him in the boxing ring and beats the snot out of him. And so, you're not allowed to say that about a boxing match, that you hope that somebody beats the crap out of the other person in the boxing ring, in the MMA fighting ring. That's what I was saying, but the bot just saw the way I wrote the sentence and said, "Oh, he's banned. Put him in Twitter jail." And like I said, I could have filed an appeal, but the appeals process in Twitter court takes months. And I would have been sitting in Twitter jail for months, but by taking a plea deal for 12 hours, that allowed me to have my account back. And so now I have a criminal record with Twitter, and, there's that. So if it happens again, they'll use that against me. But what are you going to do? It's the same way that the criminal justice system works in America. Once you get arrested, there's nothing you can do about it. And you don't believe me. Any of you people that think that there's justice, or that there's rights, or that there's a constitution, or any of that bullshit, that just means that you've never been in a situation where all of that mattered. But the first time that you find yourself in a situation like that, you're going to find out, oh, wow, Adam was right. It is all bullshit. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up for the day. Oh, here we're over an hour. My God. Wow. Okay. So anyway, there's probably a gap of a few seconds, it looks like, where you're not going to hear me talk. But I'm going to wrap this up. I guess I'll put the two videos together, and you won't see anything on TikTok today. But I'm just going to let it go from here, and I hope you guys get accomplished whatever it is that you set out to accomplish today. And I hope y'all have a good day. Peace out.